stop seeking in the external world. If you're ready to unlock the secrets of the universe and really listen to the common denominator of the great masters, you definitely want to listen or watch this episode. Welcome to the Dr. Erin Show. May you live your truth. Welcome. I'm super excited to dive deep today into this important topic, so near and dear to my heart, which is stop seeking. The secrets of the universe are within you. And this is kind of the common theme that I find over and over the years in my own personal journey. So today, opening up the news is pretty horrifying. The things that are going on across the world, the division, the hate, the wars, the insanity. And I know that this is the time for the great awakening in the world. And this is what the birthing pains look like, the breakdown for the breakthrough. So welcome. I'm Dr. E, Dr. Divinity, and Master Spiritual Coach. I'm the founder of Spiritual Psychology School and Society of the Community. I'm also the creator of E4 Method, which is current life regressions, past life regressions, and future time compressing, for really a technology to help you awaken, to come to what is really the most important thing, which is the ultimate teacher is within. Everything we do inside the school, everything I do with every client is really to clear the subconscious, clear the soul, so that someone can bow down to the beloved within, the true and only teacher there is, which is source, God's source within. And so I want to share a few things that came into my consciousness this week. One of the mornings I was up at 4:00 in the morning, and a very clear message is coming through, which is the reason why someone does not have what they say they want is because they don't desire it badly enough. And what does this mean exactly? You know, working with a lot of coaches around the world, I've trained thousands of coaches. And one thing I see people do is spin over and over again, trying to figure out what their soul's purpose is before they do the deep, deep work of going in and healing their trauma and really allowing source consciousness, God within, to really bring their message, their vision for their life, their mission for their life, and their soul's purpose. And so why I say that is because they aren't desiring to know thyself enough. They're looking to get their mission, get their legacy, get monetization, get clients, whatever it is. But the true path to that is through the deepest desire, which is to know thyself, to know God's source within, to really have that deep, deep, profound spiritual awakening. And so I know that for me, for many, many years, I was looking out to the world and thinking, what have the masters of the world, from Jesus Christ to Buddha to all the masters of all time, what is the common denominator? And the common denominator is they went into the stillness. They went into the silence. And so each week I do a lot of research myself. I'm always learning, growing. And so a couple of the masters I was researching this week, number one was Walter Russell. Walter Russell, if you don't know who he is, he was a profound, profound metaphysical and mystical teacher. So I want to read a little bit about him right here. So Walter Russell was a visionary artist. He was a scientist, a philosopher, and a mystic. He lived from 1871 all the way to 1963. If you know anything about Walter Russell, he was a profound, profound teacher. He wrote The Universal Law of One. He wrote The Secret of Light. And he's the one who showed the periodical table, not as just a chart, but as something that was moving, a frequency, that all the elements are frequencies. He was also the one that predicted the nuclear elements, which later came out through science. His story is profound because he came from no education, basically. He was self-taught, which is called autodidactic. And he was someone who had a near-death experience. And he talked a lot about his revelations and being able to really tap into the cosmic field. And I say this because if you take any of his courses and look at his work, he is a proponent of silent meditation. In fact, at the age of 50, he went into 39 days of silence and really came out with the cosmic equations and all this mathematical equations and everything, overriding the traditional Newtonian concepts. And hence he was kind of shunned out of the scientific and physics world. We know this is absolutely being tested and true in science and in physics, unifying quantum physics and traditional physics. So you definitely want to look up Walter Russell and just know that he teaches exactly what we teach, which is understanding the unity and the oneness and how everything is created from spirit and everything in the external world is the result of that, the cause and the effect. Everything in the external world is the effect. So when I see, and I'm working with clients and helping develop practitioners and coaches, and they're looking with their analytical mind, trying to figure out their soul's purpose, they're trying to get the next process, the next whatever, it's really against the true work. The true work is to do the processes for the revelations so that you can actually come into the stillness. Even doing a lot of, mantras and stuff, I love all of that, but that's still in the external world. What we want to get into is into the silence and into that. So what we say is stop seeking the external world. Stop trying to get high off of breath work. Stop trying to get high off of mantra, right? That's fine and dandy, but until you've tapped into source within, it's never going to be with the pure intention of what God source within you wants you to deliver to the world. The second person that is very well known in the spiritual and science industry of merging those two is Dr. George Washington Carver. And he was born into slavery. He had no formal education. He also was autodidactic as well. And he would wake up at 4 a.m. every morning. He would go out into Mother Nature and he would talk to the flowers, or talk with the flowers, as they say. He's a very famous metaphysician and mystic that was able to communicate with nature, communicate and listen to the flowers. The flowers spoke to him. And at that point in time, he really made a huge impact on the South in America. And what he did was everyone was really poor. All there was content. And what he did is he began to innovate, and he'd go into that silence and commune with source, divine source. And he began to find hundreds of ways of using peanuts and sweet potatoes and other crops to multiply abundance. He really was that who taught us that nature is abundant. Nature is infinite possibility. And he was able to prove that and made such a huge impact on people in all aspects of their lives. So again, all great teachers, whether it be Christ or any of the masters, any of the deities, everyone preached the same thing, which is within the silence, be still and know I am God. And the truth is the I am consciousness, the I am consciousness of who you are is the God source within. So stop seeking of the external world and start seeking within. Within you, you are the one that can unlock the secrets of the universe. No book can teach you enlightenment. No process can teach you enlightenment. It's you doing that work through the process. And E4, we see this a lot where people realize they made their own commands. They made their own limited beliefs. They decided their own traumas. Trauma is not what happens to you. Trauma is what happens within you. And the moment you decide, I'm not enough, I'm not worthy, is when all of the universe just says, and so it is, yes. When we recommand through that oneness and energetics within, then we command the truth, which is I am. I am that I am. So if you're someone who is really desiring to turn their love for the soul work, spirituality into a career, or you just want to do your deep, deep work for full revelation and awakening, we do incredible work within the school. We clear the soul, we clear the subconscious through E4 method, which is profound work. But again, I always tell everybody in the school, the work we're doing here is just simply to clear out, to become a pure vessel so that you can actually bow down and devote every day in your relationship with God source within, with the divine within, so that you can be led and taught by the cosmos, because the cosmos is one with everything. It's all out picturing of the truth of who you are, the God source within. And again, our biggest thing in our culture is to stop using the analytical mind to figure things out. The analytical mind is actually, once we have the vision from source, once we have that direction from source within, then we can use the analytical mind and the brain. The brain is not the mind. The brain is an organ. The mind is one with everything. It is eternal. It is all-knowing. It is omnipresent. So that brings us to the universal law of this week, which is the law of increase, which is one of my favorite laws, because really and truly, it's really the concept that energy upon energy creates exponential growth. It's like compounding interest. Okay. If you ever think about if you were to compound 100% on a penny over years, it would be worth more than if you first got $1 million, right? Compounding energy is everything. The more you energize negativity, the worse your life is going to get. The more you compound in truth and growing exponentially, the more it's going to compound. And so I'm knowing increase for you, for me, for everyone. And so the real question for you today is, what do you want to increase? What do you want to increase? I know for me, my most important thing is to increase my relationship with God's source within, to know thyself, to stay in that silence. And sometimes it's not easy. I have 1,000 things to do. There's social media things calling me, there's emails calling me, there's all kinds of things. But it's the discipline. It's the discipline knowing that I know that if I put time and effort into my time in silence and in the stillness, my life is going to increase in ways that I could never even imagine. The miracles, the blessings, the exponential, growth within, the healing, the revealing, all those things. So my question for you is, what is it that you truly desire? Remember at the beginning, I said the message that came through from source, the channel message is, you don't have what you say you want because you do not want it badly enough. Anything that you desire, no matter what it is, if you focus on it with faith, with giving it all of your attention as much as you can, it's going to increase. It's going to exponentially increase in whatever it is that you're creating. And so I know right now, taking a deep breath in, connecting the heart and head, coming into this oneness and this unity, I recognize there's a law of increase. Whatever we put our mind to, whatever I put my mind to, it increases. If it is into things that drain my energy, complaining and criticism and drama, I will have more and more of that in my life, exponentially compounded. I recognize also if I put my money into assets, it will grow exponentially. As I put my time and effort into relationships that thrive and where everyone brings people higher and higher, my life and their life will get greater and greater. As we put time and effort into our stillness and our silence, we know ourselves exponentially. I'm knowing great blessings. I'm knowing increase, exponential growth, quantum leap growth. I'm knowing this for this year, next year, and I'm knowing this one thing, whatever you focus on, the one thing will be what you will embody. So practice and focus on who you want to become. I release this. My word is law, as together we say, and so it is, and so it is. Okay, you guys, if you're ready to embrace the stillness, I invite you to come into the school where you can do your deep inner work to clear the soul, rid the subconscious of energetics, releasing the trauma, releasing all the past life ancestor trauma, and really being able to embody the truth of who you are so that you can bow down and devote to the divine beloved within, going into the stillness, going into your meditation, silent meditation. I always say, mantras are great and all that, but someday you have to put your big boy or girl pants on and go into silent meditation. It can be super uncomfortable at first, but I promise you, the mystics, the masters, the great, all said one thing, which is go into the stillness, go into the silence. And in that stillness, know I am God. So have a beautiful, blessed day, you guys. You can grab the free Spiritual Awakening Universal Law calendar below. It'll go right on your calendar on Sundays, 11/11. The new Oracle card comes out with spiritual law as distinction for a universal law lesson. And then we go in here. You can watch or listen to this podcast throughout the week to get your mind right. And when you're ready, you can really come in and do your deeper work. All the links are below. Have a beautiful, blessed day, and may you live the truth.